Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of Success Builders. Today we have with us Anastasia Salichou. How are you doing today, Anastasia?
I'm doing very well, and I'm happy to be here with you.
Thank you so much for being on the show. So where are you calling in from?
I'm calling in from Athens, Greece,
Oh,
in
cool.
Europe.
It's winter there by you now, isn't it? Or starting
It
winter?
is winter. Yes, it's we're in winter, but yeah, winter in Greece is like eh, somewhat winter.
Somewhat winter, okay.
Kind of cold, but not really.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's that's actually the right place to be at. I don't like the cold, so maybe I should go
Yeah, I
there
don't like the
sometime.
cold either. Yeah.
Yeah. So I understand that you're a transformational coach, you're a healer, and yeah, you also tap into the spiritual side of things as well. So
hmm
we are very, very interested to hear about your professional journey, like where it all started. Just take us through it and then lead into what you currently do. So the audience would be very interested to learn a bit more about you.
Yeah. Um, yeah, sure. I would love to share. How my professional journey started was through a lot of frustration and disappointment because I was an electrical engineer. I worked for companies that were, the environment was quite toxic. Um, it was weird because I went into this career thinking that I will have a good professional life, a great career, money, um, a lot of opportunities. And what happened is that I went from one job to the other that they were both toxic. I worked a lot. I wasn't getting paid, which sounds weird, but it happened. Um, I moved from my hometown to Athens, and back then, because I was working a lot too, and I wasn't having fun at work either. It wasn't fulfilling at all. I didn't have any friends. I didn't have time for myself. I didn't take care of myself. So through all of this frustration, this restriction with work, my body also started, falling apart. I got sick. I basically was in a depressed state. And it was a point where I thought that there is no answers for me anywhere. Like I was feeling like my whole life journey was a disappointment and that I had let down myself, others, that there was no way I would get to that success I was promised. So I remember one day um, I was on my couch watching TV because back then I was like I would go to work and then go back home, watch TV, eat some junk food because I didn't have time and energy to prepare something for me. And I thought to myself, is this the life you want to live? Like, is this what you want to do to keep doing in the future? And the answer was like a big, big no that came from within me. My whole body rebelled to this idea that my life would progress to be in the same path, on the same path. Because I could see down the road I would get very sick and very depressed and basically hating my life. So since that point, I started changing trajectories. It's like I changed a timeline, as we say in the spiritual world. And I started with the limited resources I had to do whatever came to my mind that had to do with personal development, with doing something different, with building a tribe, getting to know more people, having more friends. And that helped me a lot. Like I did a coaching for myself. This is the point where I met Reiki and I attuned myself to Reiki. Reiki is an energy healing modality. That's the most mainstream energy healing modality right now. And from that time, I started realizing that the fact that I am in a job that I don't like and it's not fulfilling for me as a career in general, even if I was in a different workplace, still I wouldn't feel like electrical engineering is the thing for me. I realized that was not my path. And I realized that when I changed my worldview, my perspective, people started coming to me for advice. When they saw that I was doing a lot better, and although I was in a difficult situation financially and practically with the job I had, I was more at peace and happy and um, inspired with my life and doing things. They started coming to me for advice. So I was like, I love this. I loved being in the place where my advice, my worldview, my thoughts could help other people. So they started bringing it to my attention that maybe something like that would make me feel like this is my purpose. This is what I want to do. And through all of this frustration, this restriction, this anger I had towards the work environments I was working on, I had put the desire in myself to do something on my own business. I didn't want to rely on other people for my success, for my progression, for what I did, and I wanted my work to have some kind of fulfillment. Basically, I wanted to have some kind of purpose to give to other people. So I decided that coaching was my path. This is what felt right to me. And how I started was that I started with um, practicing and studying health coaching back then because I changed my diet. Remember, I told you I was getting sick basically, so I changed my diet. My whole body changed. The symptoms I had, the issues I had disappeared. So I was very excited about that, and I wanted to share it with the world. I studied health coaching, and I left my work because I started having my own clients early on, and that was basically I see it now as the bridge between the world, the very practical world of electrical engineering, and the very spiritual world I am in now. The health coaching was the bridge to get me there because 3 years into the health coaching, um, I realized that I wanted to go deeper with people. With some people, we had great successes from the beginning because they changed their diet and things happened for them and it was a revelation. They did what we said. But with some other people that were carrying a lot of burdens and baggages from the past, I realized I had to have some soft skills to help them go deep within and understand what's affecting them and help uh, release it. And that not being able to do that got me, agitated. I wanted to do something more for them.
Yes.
So this is where I found the Akashic Records and went deeper into the healing modalities that I now have studied and worked on. Mainly, it's the Akashic Records that I work from, which is basically the energetic database of information for all souls, where I can help them find where the trauma came from, release emotions, release blockages that are stagnant in the energetic field in the body. So this is where it took me, my journey, and now that's what I do with the people I work with.
That's fantastic. And it's so great that you are helping people. And I mean, as you said, it's really good to have a purpose and to be helping others and not just having a job that, you know, is 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 just there to turn the wheels, right? Um,
Yeah.
being connected to others and having a tribe is so important. In fact, if you look at the blue zones, which are the areas where people live the longest, one of the
Mm-hmm.
main contributing factors there is community. And having that community support, not being alone, and being able to connect with others and share energy. Like having a conversation is an energy exchange. And having that actually helps people to prolong their lives in those blue zone areas, amongst other things as well. But that's one of the contributing
Yeah.
factors that was very common. So I totally feel everything that you said. Um, so,
Actually,
mhm.
so just to say something about the blue zones, you're right. We have one here in Greece, by the way. Ikaria is one of the blue zones.
Yes,
And indeed, the common thread, because the blue zones, some of them have a good diet. The one in Italy is not that, you know, traditionally good diet in the sense that they have a lot of pasta, a lot of bread, and stuff like that. But the common thread is support, relationships, community for all blue zones, indeed.
yeah, because it keeps the mind active as well. You know, um,
Yeah,
I, I think isolation leads to deterioration of the mind very quickly. Um, and
yeah, I
I find
agree.
myself doing podcasts and connecting with people from all over the world is quite cathartic in a sense. It actually does, um,
Mm-hmm.
you know, open up my mind to the energy exchange with other people, and it's actually really healing in and of itself. um,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. So, would you be able to tell us a little bit about how your coaching program works? How would someone get in touch with you, and then what they can expect out of um, your services that you provide?
Yeah. Um, they can find me on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, or my website.
Well,
Maybe
we'll
we can
share the
share
links here as
those
well,
things.
of course. Yeah.
Yes. So the way it works is basically, in a nutshell, it's a deep experiential journey within, which means that I take my clients from understanding who they are at soul level as step one, because each one of us, we have specific energies and specific skills we bring into the world. Imagine that each soul is a different droplet of light that is unique. So we have a unique blend of skills, traits, purpose that we bring into the world. And the more we connect to it, the more our inner sense of self becomes true and light for us, and also the self empowerment becomes bigger and bigger from the inside. So, part one is understanding who people are specifically. And usually, what happens is that we're trying to be someone else because we're trying to follow other people's steps. And that's, a, in a sense, a mistake in so many ways, because since we are unique, we need to connect to what we have within us. I hope this makes sense.
Yes.
So one part is finding this inner diamond, let's say, that we all have, that is very specific. It has a very specific color. And then it's about clearing all the mud, as I said, that has accumulated around this diamond, and it's basically restricting it from shining the light around us. And this mud could be programming, societal programming, generational programming. It could be karmic in the sense of things that we have done and we have programmed ourselves with through trauma, through difficult experiences, emotions that we carry within us, because when we feel emotions and we don't let them be released, we accumulate them into our energy field and our bodies. So we're cleansing and clearing what is on top, like in layers on top of what and who we are, in order to be able to take more actions that are aligned and change our lives in a way that is more conducive to who we are at soul level, who we are really. So it's twofold. One is to make to to do actions that are more aligned, and the other one is to clear the ones that are not, basically.
Yeah.
And
That's
these can be basically people get results within a few sessions, to be honest. Some people want to keep going into this direction, build their own business around it, build their life around their soul skills, so it takes a little bit more time. Because you asked me how the package works,
yes.
usually I tell people to work at least for 3 to 6 months in order to see tangible results and really understand what their soul skills and what their soul is telling them.
Fantastic. And I picked up on something that you said now. Does that mean that you also help people become coaches like you as well?
Not necessarily, but yes, if they want to. So through understanding their soul skills, we kind of start getting glimpses of how that could look like.
Right, right, right.
Some people that come to me for help, they are indeed inclined to be coaches or healers. Some others are not. I've had people who are like performers, or they're business oriented.
Yes.
Usually, the people who are spiritually inclined, because this is spiritual work, usually the people that come to me, they have done some inner work already. Like they have done some meditation, they are curious about spirituality, they want to learn more. Usually, these people want to also bring that spirituality out into the world,
Right, right,
but it's not always like that.
right. And the spirituality that you're talking about, is that religion agnostic? Um, does it matter what faith background you actually come from?
No, it doesn't. Um, and I've had clients basically from many different religions. Like they might be following a specific religion, but working on their self empowerment with me parallelly. I'm not, how to say it, like I work inclusively with what they believe in, as long as they are open to explore other ideas. Like I take them into past life work. But for the people who don't believe in past lives, what I tell them, and it actually is true, is that past lives are stories that our brain wants us to hear and see so that we get that aha moment. So if somebody, even if somebody doesn't believe in that, still we can do the work, but naming it in a different way. It's a story, basically. Um, It's just that people need to have some curiosity about learning more, I guess. That's
Yeah,
the important aspect of it.
I think as with anything, with entrepreneurship, with becoming a leader, and
Yeah,
being a lifelong learner, you just need to have that curiosity to just try something new. Uh,
yeah.
and yeah, so that's really cool that you cater to everyone, regardless of the faith. And yeah, so and your sessions, are they normally done online, or do you do in person, or uh, do you do a bit of both? How does that look?
90% of my work is online because I
Okay,
work with people from all around the world. Now, if somebody lives close to me, sometimes they come to my place, but it's mainly online.
cool. It's really amazing
Yeah.
how things have changed, and now we have
Yeah.
access to the whole world,
Technology.
basically. Have
Yeah.
access to the whole world. Um, and it's really empowering for people as well, because if maybe someone's listening to this podcast right now and they're in a situation where they just, are having a hard time and just not feeling themselves, they can just go to the description, they can find your details, make contact with you,
Hmm.
and they have help right here and now.
Yeah.
that's the amazing thing about technology, and it's so good. Um, so next question for you. Tell me, what does 2025 look like for you?
What does 2025 look like for me? Definitely. So before COVID happened, I was traveling a lot around the world. And for the last 4 years, I haven't been outside of Europe apart from going to Turkey. So 2025 will be traveling um, across the ocean, which is great. I'm planning to go to the US in May. And I don't know what, probably I would like to do some traveling in November again, like, I don't know, maybe Australia, maybe somewhere else. We'll see. So more traveling, definitely. I'm also going to be doing workshops, which I do like this past weekend. I was doing a workshop in Tirana in a conference. So I will be doing conference workshops in some other places too. Mm, that's mainly it, apart from my job, of course, and my work. And really, I never stop that. It's mainly mostly traveling on top of that,
Okay, fantastic.
which I'm
A-
very excited to do.
And it's so good that you can do what you do from anywhere in the world. It's really amazing. Again, technology.
Yes.
It's so
Yeah.
good. You might have to
Yeah.
juggle time zones a little bit, but other than that, really good. And the workshops you mentioned, is that like um, a one-to-many scenario? So you'll be like presenting to more than one person, or is that still
Yes.
one-to-one?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
No, it's one to many. I do have my main work is personal coaching and healing, but I also have groups and that I do where we I take them into a meditation and then a clearing of a specific aspect, but that's a group in a group setting. And then I also do workshops where it's not we don't go into healing, but we are talking about those things. We're doing exercises, group exercises, and talking about transformation, basically.
Really good. No, no, awesome.
No.
So where does someone find out about the workshops that you're hosting? Will it be on your website, or will you be putting it on your socials? How will that? How will people know?
Yeah, my socials, my socials mainly. Yes, my
Okay.
Facebook and Instagram.
Okay, fantastic. So, as I mentioned earlier, we'll share those in the description here so that the
Hmm.
audience can get in touch with you and find out when your workshops are happening and, um, yeah, just get some help if they need. So, it's been fantastic learning about you and about what you do and about your journey. You seem like someone who is very kind and does want to help other people. So I do encourage the audience to get in touch with you if they want to work through things that are happening in their lives right now. Um, so do you have maybe some last words of wisdom or some value you wish to give to the viewers before we close up?
Mm. Yes, before we close up, I would like to say that if people want to get in touch with me, I have a 30-minute free session. We can talk about themselves and see where they are and if it's a good fit to help them or not. Well, my piece of advice for everyone would be to try to find themselves and be more of themselves every step of the way instead of following other people's truths, other people's lives, other people's paths, because we're not here to do that. We're here to empower ourselves to follow and create our own path. And that's where we bring the most value into the world. That would be my piece of advice.
Thank you so much. That's really beautiful. So, thank you so much, everyone who's watching this, for tuning in today. And thanks again for all your support of the Success Builders channel. And we'll end off with what we usually say. remember to dream big and build bigger. Until next time. Bye, everyone.